This is a teacher Harrisburg, and we are basically studying A2 accounting. And for A2 accounting, we are going to solve the topic. We are going to solve the topic for ABC costing. And that question has come in February, March 2342. February, March 2342. One of the easy questions of this topic, right? So Simran is a manufacturer who uses activity-based costing. He provided the following information for a year about the two products which he manufactures. Product A, 2,500 units we are selling. Product B, 4,600 units we are selling. Units returned, 500 and 600. So we have returned the units also, and that is 500 and 600. It means that how many units have been sold? 2,000 and 4,000, obviously, right? Selling price per unit is 50 for product A and 72 for product B. Direct material per unit, 1.5 kilos at the rate of 8.2 per kilo. For product B, 3.5 at 9.5. Then direct labor per unit, 2 hours at 10 and 2.5 hours at 12. Always remember this, that material cost is always calculated according to the kilos per unit. यानी material cost कैसे लगती है units पे? kilos के हिसाब से. Labor is consumed according to the hours worked by the labor, by the workers. It is always given through labor hours. So material per unit, labor per unit, multiply, you have to multiply this to find the material per unit and labor per unit. Information about production overheads were as follows. Machine setups 4480. Machines are set up 80 times for product A and 200 times for product B. It means that total overheads are not given. We are not using absorption costing. We are not using traditional costing. We are directly using ABC costing. Why, sir? How do you know that? Because the overhead cost is distributed in 4 different cost pools. Overhead cost is distributed in 4 different cost pools. आपने अपना लेक्चर लिया था? मैंने भेजा था. लेकिन अभी चलो ठीक है, जहां बोलना बताना मुझे. तो machine setup cost is 4480. Machine setup cost is always incurred according to the setups, right? So setups, whatever has been done in for product A and for product B. So machine setups 80 times machine has been set up for product A and 120, 200 times for product B. According to this ratio, machine setup cost will be divided, will be apportioned between product A and product B. Next is quality inspection. Quality inspection is going to be apportioned according to the number of inspections. There are 40 inspections in for product A and 60 for product B. So according to this ratio, we will divide this quality inspection cost between A and B. Order processing is apportioned according to number of orders. So 550, 500 is the cost, 190 orders for product A and 360 for product B. So this cost will be apportioned or divided, distributed between A and B, product A and B, according to this ratio. Depreciation of machinery, 15,200. The net book value of machinery used for product A is 45,000 and for product B is 55,000. And according to this ratio, we will divide this. The units which are returned were all found to be faulty and could only be sold for their scrap value at $8 per unit. So he has completely said that the units which are returned were all found to be faulty and could only be sold for their scrap value of $8 per unit. So let's come back to the question. It means that we have produced 2,500 units. We will calculate the cost according to 2,500 units for product A. We will calculate the cost according to 4,600 units for product B. But the selling price for those 500 units which are returned for product A is not going to be 50, it is 8. And for product B, the selling price of 600 units which are returned is not 72, it is going to be 8 for both, right? So let's move forward. State what is meant by the term cost driver. You can write it down. What is meant by the term cost driver? Cost driver are the activities consumed cost drivers are the activities consumed by each cost unit which drives the cost which drives the cost between different products, which drives the cost between different products for each cost pool, which drives the cost for different products for each cost pool. अब जरा इसको जरा let's try to understand this. But I have said actually. For that reason, I'm going back. So can you tell me that what are the cost driver for machine setup? For machine setup is a cost pool actually, overhead cost pool. And the cost driver for machine setup is number of setups. The number of setups basically drives the cost of each cost pool between different products. हर प्रोडक्ट में कितना कितना मशीन सेटअप कॉस्ट जाएगी वो बताती है. Okay, that is basically known as cost driver, right? So machine setup is an activity and a cost driver. So activities are basically the cost drivers. Quality inspection is the cost pool. Number of inspection is a cost driver. Order processing is a cost pool. Number of order is a cost driver. Depreciation of machinery is a cost pool. And net book value of machinery is a cost driver. You can write it down also. You can give an example also. But that is only 1 mark. So next, calculate the total profit or loss made from the production of each product for a year. So he is basically asking us to find the total production cost, which you have calculated, which are going to find out for each product for a year. So let's do that. It's very easy. Product A and product B. Let me solve it for you. I will write here. This question हम solve कर रहे हैं through ABC costing only. There is no overhead absorption rate has been used by direct labor hours or through machine hours. We have not used that because we don't need that, because the question has never asked you to go for. We are directly solving it through ABC costing. Product A and product B. Over here, we are going to have, first we are going to calculate the cost actually. So that is going to be direct material. Then we have direct labor, and then we are going to have overheads. For the calculation of cost, you need to write the units produced. For product A, you have produced 2,500 units. For product B, you have produced 4,600 units, right? Now let's talk about direct material. For direct material, 1.5 kilos at 8.2, 1.5 and 8.2, and the units are 2,500. So let's do it. I will write here 2,500 multiplied by 1.5 multiplied by 8, because on each unit 1.5 kilos of material has been used and 1 kilo of material cost us $8. Say, you know, 2,500 into 1.5 into 8, how much we will get? 30,000. Okay. Now let's talk about the direct material for product B. 3.5 at the rate of 9.5. And the units are 4,600. 4,600 into 4,600 into, let me check it once again, 3.5 into 9.5. How much we are going to get? 152,950. Great. Now we are going to calculate the direct labor. Direct labor 2,500 into 2 hours on each unit at the rate of 10 per hour. It's easy. 2,500 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10. How much? Sorry, 50,000. Then for 4,600 for product B, we have labor hours of 2.5 hours per unit at the rate of 12 per hour. So 4,600 multiplied by 2.5 multiplied by 12. 138,000 is the answer. Okay. Now for overheads, you have to go for all the details. You can't write it all the way through directly. You have to go for the details because the overheads are going to be distributed in different cost pools. They are divided into different cost pools. And those cost pools are, there are how many cost pools are there? 4. Machine setup, quality inspection, order processing, and depreciation of machinery. So I'm going to write all of them because I have to divide the cost accordingly. So machine setup, then quality inspection, then order processing, and then depreciation on machine. These are the 4 overhead costs which have been distributed between those things, those products. So 4480 is the machine setup cost, and the machines are set up 80 times for product A and 200 times for product B. So we are going to calculate here 4480 multiplied by 80 over 280. So we will get the cost of machine setup for product A. Machine setup cost for product A. Yes? 1280. Then again, I will calculate 4480 multiplied by 200 divided by 280. You will get 3200 is the cost for product B. Next, for quality inspection, Ali, we are going to have a cost of 8,000 for quality inspection. Ali, you are getting it? So 8,000 is going to be divided, Rafia, according to the number of inspections, 40 and 60. 40 plus 60, how much? 100. So 40 over 100 and 60 over 100 is going to become the 8,000. I will do that for you. Yes. 8,000 multiplied by 40 over 100. Yes. That is going to be 3,200. And again, 8,000 multiplied by 60 over 100. That is going to be 4,800. Okay. Sometimes it happens that students used to say that we can calculate it directly and we can write the amount. So it is better always to show the calculation. Always remember that either you are in AS or in A2, you are going to have marks for your working. Even the question is wrong. Even the solution is wrong, you will still get marks for working. ये हमें examiners को, Cambridge has given this statement to the examiners. Next, order processing 5,500, 190 number of orders for product A and 360 orders for product B. So I will calculate 5,500 multiplied by 190 divided by 360 plus 190. How much it will? No. 550. 360 plus 190. 550. So what is the answer? 1900. Now 5,500 again, we will write here, multiplied by 360 divided by 550. 3633. Before entering these data into the question, I am going to go for the total of this. So I want you to find the total of the calculation. The 3 calculations. Oh, sorry, depreciation of machinery. Let me write it down. So for depreciation of machinery, 15,200 and 45,000 and 55,000. So I will write here 15,200 divided by 45,000 divided by 1 lakh, right? Multiplied by 45 over 100. One and the same thing. 6840. 00 cancel. I have cancelled the 000. So it will become rather easy to calculate the figure. But you can go for the whole amount also, no problem. 836. So I will go for the total of all the overheads for product A, that how much overheads are going to be allocated for product A according to the cost pools and according by using the cost drivers. So 13220, and for product B it is going to be 19960. Okay. Now I will write the amounts over here for machine setup. That is 1280 for product A Quality inspection, we have 3200, then 1900, and depreciation of machinery is 6840. Then for product B, we have 3200 for machine setup. For quality inspection, it is 4800. For order processing, 3600. And for 8360, it is going to be. Now I'm going to go for the total also. And the total cost we have incurred. This particular cost is going to be 13220. Regarding overheads, this is 19960. Now I'm going to find the total cost. 13220 plus 80,000. 13220 plus 80,000. So how much it will come? 93,220. And for this is 310,910. So this is going to be the total cost we have calculated. 93,220 for product A and 310,910 for product B. You can check it out, Fareed, if this calculation is right. For product B, 152,950 and 2.5 into 12. Hopefully. Okay. Next, he's saying that the selling price we have to, because we are supposed to find the profit actually. Because the question has basically demanded us to find the total profit. Okay, thank you. So selling price is 50 and 72. So let's calculate the sales with two different amounts. So sales for this particular product is 2000 multiplied by 50. And for the goods returned, which are 500, the sale figure is going to be $8. So we have to go for a total for this, and the sales will be 104,000. And for 4,000 units of product B, we have a selling price of 72 plus for 600, we have a selling price of 8. 292. That is going to be 292,800. So we can calculate the profit now by comparing these two amounts. Means 104,000 minus 93,220. You will get the profit. 10780. So this is going to be the profit or loss. There can be loss also. 18110. There is going to be a loss. So I will write it in the bracket actually. 18110. I will write it in the bracket. 18,110. We are going to have a loss on product B. But for product A, we have a profit of 10780. Right? The return products I have already calculated. I have added up. Because we have total product of 2,500 produced and sold. Units returned are 500. They are a part of it. So they are a part of it actually. So we have calculated 2,000 and 4,000. We have taken 2,000 into 50 and 500 units which have been returned into 8. Then 4,000 into 72 and 600 which have been returned are going to be sold for $8. So this is how we have done with that. Now, let's see what examiner has basically asking us. Total profit or loss made from the production of each product for a year. Okay? तो उसने simple लिखा है total profit or loss दोनों हो सकते हैं, right? And for each product for a year. So we have a profit in one of the for the sale of one product, and for the other product we are going to have a loss. So we are done with this question. But my question now is basically the same which you haven't basically uttered. That is, I told you that it is always better to solve the question through per unit basis, but we have not solved this question through per unit basis. There was a reason behind. Reason is that the examiner has asked us to find the total profit actually. But when you will solve the question, you will still go for per unit. You will not go for total, because just for to make the question look more easy, I have solved it through total, but you will not go for the total. You will go for the per unit. So let's discuss that. It's quite easy. You will do direct material 1.5 into 8, 2 into 10, 20. You will take Ali 3.5 into 9.5, 2.5, 12. It's fine. Right, Hasan? Then Manu, 1280 divided by 2500 per unit. 3200 divided by 2500 per unit. 1900 divided by 2500 per unit. 6840 divided by 2500 per unit. Same is the case. इसको भी आपको divide करना पड़ेगा 4600 to find the per unit. Then you will find the total cost per unit, and then you can find the selling price per unit, which you can't calculate because selling price is different for both. So you will find the total cost by multiplying it by the cost per unit, whatever units, 2500 and 4600, and then you can do the rest of the work, right? But here I have gone with the total because I was already knowing about the question. It was quite simple to calculate it. Okay. So the next part for this question is over here, and what is basically said. Simran was concerned about the high volume of units being returned. Simran is very much concerned that most of the units have been returned back by the customer because of quality problem, whatever. So she believed that the workers were not paying enough attention when assembling its products. So workers are basically creating problem by assembling the. But she considered installing a system of surveillance cameras in the factory. Surveillance, do you know that the word surveillance? Check. Yes, surveillance is basically to keep a check all the way through, from the start till the end. This is surveillance. Surveillance is not quality check. Surveillance is basically keep an eye all the time. Camera laga दें in the factory so that workers could be monitored. She believed that this would totally eliminate the returns. Simran would rent the camera system for a fixed period of 3 years. The cost of monitoring the camera would amount to 18,000 per annum. Simran decided that this would be added to the cost of quality inspection. So if you just look at the question, what was the amount of quality inspection? We'll go back. Quality inspection cost is 8,000. Now it is increased by 18,000, right? It will become 26,000. But the number of inspection will remain the same. Let's study more the remaining part. Simran decided that this would add it to the cost of quality inspection. The increased total would then be allocated on the same basis as well. Calculate the revised total profit or loss made from the production of each product for a year if the surveillance camera were reduced and all the returns were eliminated. अब returns हमारे क्या हो जाएंगे, खत्म हो जाएंगे, and we are able to sell them because of the surveillance camera. So the total cost will increase, obviously, but the sales will increase more. So what will be the procedure? The quality inspection cost will change. That is going to be 8,000. No, that is going to be now 8,000 plus 18,000. So it will become how much? 26,000 multiplied by 40 over 100. So what will come? 10,400. And for product B, 26,000 multiplied by 60 over 100. That is 15,600. So these amounts will change over here. For quality inspection, I'm going to change the amounts just to solve the question again. Can you change? Have you taken the pick? So I will change it on the same amounts. I don't need to solve it again actually. I will change it with the same amounts. So this quality inspection amounts will change. And because of that, the total will obviously will change also. So quality inspection is going to be now 10,400 and this is going to be 15,600. So there is a change in the total cost now. What will be the total cost of overheads? And the total cost will also change. By installing the surveillance camera, we are able to keep a check on the employees, and then there is not going to be any return. And when there is not going to be any return, so we can sell the same goods which has normally been returned at the same selling price. So the profit will increase. Yes. 20420. This total? Yeah, ये वाला. Yeah. 307. Okay. Now total cost will be 1,04,020. And for this, 321,710. Now the total cost has been increased, but we have, because of this, our profit will increase more, because now the return goods, the return products are not going to be sold as scrap. They will be, we will be able to sell them at a normal price, at a normal selling price. So 2,500 multiplied by 50, that will be now our sales for product A. 12,50,000, right? No, 1,25,000. And for product B, again, 4,600 will, we will be able to sell 4,600 units of product B at a normal selling price, which is 72. 200. So we have now, for product A and for product B, we are going to have a profit now for both the products. How much profit we have? 24580 we have profit for product A. 949. And 9490 we have profit for product B. But previously, we were basically having a loss on product B. So this will be, we will adopt this policy because there will be no return now. Then we are able to, surveillance can be done for each employee. Then when there will be no return, then the customer relationship will improve, customer retention will improve, and the profit are already increased for both the products. It was 10,000 something for product A, but now it is 24580. And for product B, there is going to be a loss of around 10, 12, 11,000. But now there is a profit of 9490 for product B also. So this is how we are done with this question. So you can go for just the calculation only. But again, you have to, at least, you have to write this at least, A and B, and then you can write cost, sale, and profit. That you can do through that way, because only this amount will change quality inspection regarding total cost. Other things will remain the same. And sales will change altogether, obviously. Because 2,500 units, we were selling 2,000 units for $50 and 500 for $8 previously. Because they were returned, they were rejected, they were damaged, whatever you can say. And for 4,000 at the rate of 72 and 600 at the rate of 8. But now we can sell 4,600, all of them at 72, and 2,500, all of them at 50. Okay. So is there any problem, Ali? Any problem? You can ask me if there is any problem, Hassan. Okay. This is quite an easy topic, but it is important, obviously, because we have questions of ABC in our past papers. Rafi, any problem? Manur, okay? Okay. Any student online class? That's fine then. And I'm going to give you a question for homework also, because that is also a requirement. मीरब, कोई मसला है तो बताएं। फातिहा, फकीहा, कोई खदीजा कोई प्रॉब्लम है किसी को तो मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं आप। Advice Simran whether or not she should install the system of surveillance camera, justify an answer, मैंने already आपसे डिस्कस कर लिया है। Okay, for surveillance camera, we are basically using, वो कह रहा है कि what is the suitability of the cost driver? The cost driver we are using for the surveillance cameras, cost of surveillance cameras, we are using the cost driver of number of inspection. Okay, that is even fine, because number of inspection will definitely relate to the surveillance camera also, because people can see that either the cameras are working properly, or you can also find out a better cost driver like the employees assigned for the surveillance. That is also the number of employees assigned for the surveillance. उनकी जो number of employees जितने हैं उसके हिसाब से भी आप surveillance cost को distribute कर सकते हैं. Okay. Because machine setup पे तो नहीं जा सकता ना surveillance camera की cost. Order processing में तो नहीं जा सकती ना. Depth machinery पे तो नहीं जा सकती ना. या तो आप नया cost driver यूज करें या फिर quality inspection ही यूज करें. Okay, next question, I will do it for you myself. What? So this is the question you have to solve. Go with the per unit basis. That is October, November 22, 33. October, November 22, 33. Easy question, not a big difficult question. It's quite easy. October, November 22, 23. Yeah. October, November 22, 23. Okay. Allah Hafiz. Thank you. Ask me anything if you want to on my WhatsApp number.